Hey, sports poachers, it's your hockey Jesus, and I'm back with analysis of the Pittsburgh Penguins game this afternoon versus the Calgary Flames. Well, Pittsburgh Penguins fans, this is why I love the game of hockey. You can look at a game and be like, this should be an easy win for a team. Tonight, this afternoon, it should have been the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Calgary Flames. Calgary comes in with the worst power play in the NHL. They don't have their best scorer in Coleman. They haven't won yet in 2026. Dustin Wolf is out, their best goalie, so they got the backup, Devin Cooley, in. They played last night. Calgary's on a 4-game losing streak. They're 18-26 coming into today, and the Calgary Flames beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 2-1 in a really kind of a spirited game. It's really weird when the East Coast plays against the West Coast, and the game is just it actually was pretty animated from the second period, really from the end of the first period on. I think the bad news really happened when the Pittsburgh Penguins announced that Brian Rust is going to be out day to day. That jumbled up 2 of their 4 lines, and that's a problem for the Pittsburgh Penguins right now because they still got some relatively new players. Remember, Chinnikov's only in his 5th game. Gino's back, for the first time for his 3rd game. So they're still trying to figure out those lines. And for some reason, when they bring Kevin Hayes in, oh my God, I wish Kevin Hayes never played, but I get it. McGroarty's out, Rust is hurt. Hayes is last man standing, so he's got to play. But they will not put him in the 4th line. They're not going to mix up the 4th line. So instead, they put Hayes on the 3rd line. They move Novak to the 1st line. So now you're messing up 2 lines. I don't really like that play by Muse. He's going to have to figure out something when these mystery injuries happen. Russ probably got injured his foot when he blocked that shot the other night. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me, that's probably what happened. Probably was feeling some bruising from that. But yeah, so when Hayes comes in, the first thing he does is he commits a penalty. He wasn't really too much a factor on the goals, but I just don't like the way when he comes in, he just messes up everything. You just can't plug him into somewhere. And I'm just at a loss of words because I don't like the guy. I wish he was not on this team, but he is, and we have to deal with it. Let's look at what happened in the first period. Honestly, the first period was all Ryan Shea. What is he doing? He's waiting to send the puck across the zone on the blue line, and basically it's a breakaway goal, 1-0 right away. It got chippy at the end of the first period, like I said, and the chippiness continued into the second. There was a power play at 11:30, and that's the other thing with Brian Rust out. He does kill penalties. He is on the power play, so you got to fill all those positions. Raquel's out there killing penalties in lieu of Rust. Honestly, Raquel hasn't killed penalties for us at all. He looks a little lost out there, and you can tell. Maybe what I'll do is I'll show a little preview of that tomorrow. He just is not skating when he's out there, which means he doesn't really know where to go. So he's just trying to keep a spot empty from a pass getting through. They didn't score on the power play today. Calgary did not, so that wasn't a big deal. But it looked disconnected. The whole game it looked disconnected. Penn's power play was over 3 tonight, but they look good. The power play did look good. I think the third period, and really not a lot of shots going into the second period. I think it was like maybe 12 to 10 or something like that going into the third period. And then right away in the third period, Calgary just said, okay, we got to win a damn game because, they're just not a good team. They're not going to make the playoffs. But I think they just wanted to show that they still have faith. And I did watch them the other night against Montreal. They do play with some spirit. They're not a team that doesn't have talent. They're not a team that doesn't go out there and play hard. They played really hard tonight, and they did play hard against Montreal. It's just that I think if you can take the game away from them, and the Penguins didn't today, that they're going to stay in it. And that's what happened. They got a good goal at the beginning of the third period. It really was a screenshot on Sheloff. Sheloff wasn't bad tonight. Actually, he kept them in the game after that because they kept coming. They could have had another goal or two for sure. 6-0 shots in the third period, and the Penguins just couldn't get it started. Once they did get started, They did get a goal, but it got waved off near the end of the third period. Sid got pushed into the goalie. And honestly, when it comes down to that goalie interference, you might as well toss a coin because you don't know what's going to happen. Sid clearly got pushed into the goalie, and the goalie got knocked down. And then Novak kind of spun around the back of the goal and knocked it in. And they just blew it off right away. I hate that. You can't challenge that play either. So it's just, I guess it's just bad puck luck for the Pens tonight. The other thing is the Pens they just didn't look good. They just didn't look good at all. They weren't crisp. When the Penguins are good, they're getting the puck out of the zone. They're crisp. And tonight, they were not. And honestly, I think if you look back at this game and you see Calgary come out the way they did, they are a big-bodied team. They've got a lot of 6-foot guys that take up a lot of space. They're not fast. They're not a fast team. Last year, Pittsburgh Penguins' problems was the speed. This year, it looks like their problem might be bigger teams that kind of just take up space. And when the Pittsburgh Penguins try and, move into the spaces that they want, they're just running into these guys and they're falling over. Honestly, I don't like the way Calgary plays. They're big, but they fall over a lot. Like that penalty in the third period where somebody got a tripping penalty, maybe it was Gino. The guy just fell down. And at the end of after Gino got after the goal was scored by Chinnikov and Gino come over to celebrate, and he knocked the guy down. The guy fell like he was like shot by a 44 Magnum or something. He just crumbled to the ground. And that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but you know what? If you're a big guy and you're crumbling like that, you're just, crocodile tears for that guy because he didn't. Gino pushed him over and it was a penalty, but that's the way the hockey goes. The hockey gods sometimes smile down upon a team that shouldn't win, and tonight that's what happened this afternoon. The Calgary Flames get probably a much-needed win. I don't think they're making the playoffs, but they did get a win tonight. Their first win of 2026. It comes against the Pittsburgh Penguins. My Pittsburgh Penguins. They probably deserve the win. Pittsburgh's got to figure out a way to play against these big teams, and hopefully they can get the lines back together. Don't know if Russ is going to make the trip to Boston tomorrow, but that's right. Pittsburgh plays the Boston Bruins tomorrow. Rather would beat the Boston Bruins in regulation and lose to the Calgary Flames because Calgary's in the West Coast, and we need to stay ahead of teams in the East Coast. This afternoon, I watched some of the game. Boston did take care of the New York Rangers pretty handily, 10-2 or something like that. So hopefully they scored all their goals tonight. Boston did. They had two guys who actually had hat tricks, which hasn't happened for them since depending on whether you're talking about the home or in general, since the 40s or the 1960s. So Penguins get the Bruins tomorrow. Hopefully they can shake this off, and they'll be in action tomorrow. So, hey, if you like what you're hearing, I'm the Hockey Jesus. I'm here after every single Pittsburgh Penguins games. Me and my buddies, we do a show called The Sports Porch. We're here live on Monday evenings at 7 p.m., but I'm here live after every Pittsburgh Penguins game. I'm here giving it to you about the Calgary Flames. Tomorrow I'll be back giving it to you about the Boston Bruins. So, hey, until then, I don't know if you're a football fan, enjoy the football. And if not, enjoy the hockey because I will be. I'll see you tomorrow.